got your forecast for that. It's time for Pinpoint Weather School Day. Meteorologist Devin Lucy made his way to Quest Academy in West Haven. Good morning.
Good morning. We've made our way up north to Weber County. Are we in Weber County? Did I get it right this morning? I think. At Quest Academy. Thanks so much for joining us today. Give me some rounds of high fives here. Sixth grade classes, half the sixth grade. We had to make this quick today because the other half is going to be coming in quick. And I know that we're going to be able to answer our questions all free and clear. Now, a couple things if you were paying really close attention, because one of my favorite things with a sixth grade class is I can just go through it. I don't have to give you a refresher, right? Because you're listening so closely. Because next year we're in seventh grade. I mean, it's not that far away. How many weeks away are we from the end of school here? Who was able to tell me this one? 5. Look at this. High five it. So, as we go into the forecast, there are a couple of charts that we already looked at in doing our forecast. The first chart that we looked at was something interesting. It was, what were we looking at? Does anybody remember what we were looking at with that first chart? Who was paying close attention to it? What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela, what was that first chart? You can kind of just be really general. What was the first thing we were looking at there?
Well, there was a storm coming from Alaska coming down to Utah.
That's exactly right. So the thing is, we were going up and we were looking pretty high in the sky, right? It was a particular storm we call these upper level storms. Does anybody remember at what elevation we were looking? How high in the sky? Does anybody have any idea? Did anybody remember what number we were talking about? Do you remember? No? That's I saw a half hand raise. So that's why. What's your name over here?
EJ.
EJ?
AJ.
AJ. AJ. About how high up in the atmosphere were we?
5 miles.
5 miles. Exactly right. I knew you were going to listen, and even a wild stab sometimes is right. But you were listening. I know you got it right. So about 5 miles in the atmosphere. The cool thing is we knew that storm was coming from the north, and that storm coming from the north is usually associated with what type of air? No? Half hand raise again. We'll make it easy. We'll make it a 50-50 one for you. Maybe we won't have to. What's your name?
Corton.
Corton. That air associated from that north storm is usually associated with what type of air?
Cold.
Exactly right. See, we didn't even have to whittle it down. And by the time we get to next Tuesday into Wednesday, and when that storm comes through, cold air, it's been so warm, but even with cold air, and by the time we get to next May 1st, the thing we could be having to deal with is snow. Snow. And so even in the little bit of time we've been in West Haven already, this sixth grade class has been on it, and I love it. You ready to do some weather now? You ready to tell everybody else what they expect? Okay. It was a quick go-getter because we have another class to come right after, and we'll finish the entire sixth grade class. But in the meantime, hey, say hi to Mr. Todd and wave to your friends and family at home, because we'll do the weather while you get to be on TV. So a look outside of the J.D. Byrider downtown cam shows a few clouds. Got those temperatures, can you believe, already in the 50s and 60s? And it's really nice out all across the state. Can you believe St. George, where it's already into the 70s, or at least close to? We could be close to nearly 90 in St. George later on today. So look at the weather features today with the warmer air that's in place. But a couple isolated storms that came in last night, courtesy of a weak system that rolled through northwest southeast. That system that sparked the storms is going to leave over that kind of energy from the storms to central and southern Utah today to give a storm chance. But we've got another one of these weak systems. So by tomorrow, do you think we should bring our rain gear to school?
Yes. Yeah.
I think you're right. And it's good that, you know what, I think you probably had a little bit of forewarn on that one, didn't you? So as we look to central and southern Utah here today, we're still in northern Utah in our futurecast, but look at that Friday forecast. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible throughout the day. So let's go back to today and check out what happens central and southern Utah. And we have a chance of an isolated or widely scattered storm as we head through post-noon hour today and as we go through the rest of the day. Usually it's this time of the year and we talk rain and thunderstorms. You know what really helps us out to create those storms? The sun. And so when I say the hottest part of the day, we're talking from noon to about 8 p.m., right? And that's what's going to happen in central and southern Utah. Chance of the storms are likeliest from then here today. We go into your Friday, and then more of the storm chance will remain north. And then we head into the weekend, and these weak systems are gone. We say goodbye, sayonara. That's Japanese for goodbye. And then we will have a nice weekend in store. However, we were discussing what happens next week, and next week comes another storm. A what type of storm? Well, maybe not necessarily all snow, but we could call it a cold storm. How about we call it a cold storm, and then the chance of rain comes. So St. George, I went by your forecast. Sunny skies, beautiful. You could have some storms next Monday, Tuesday associated with that same storm. And as we go for the Salt Lake City Wasatch Front 7-day forecast, we look for a gorgeous weekend. You ready for a good weekend? Yes? Yes? So quiet over here. They weren't like the rest of the class. But I think we're in store for a great weekend. Upper 60s Saturday, mid 60s Sunday, and nothing but sunshine, maybe a cloud or two. But since we're doing it class by class, I'm going to let you say goodbye too, and then we'll be back about another 25 minutes. At ABC4 News, we also like to say we're good for Utah. So on the count of 3, can you wave to everybody and say good for Utah? Okay? All right, so at least from our first of our 2 6th grade classes here at Quest Academy, at ABC4 News, we are 1, 2, 3. Good for Utah! Oh, you can do better than that. Good for Utah!
Very polite. Very polite.